Hey, it's Mark Ferguson, and we're back with another virtual real estate video in Upland, one of my favorite games slash investments. LA was just released a little while ago, and we bought a lot of properties in LA. But I also want to talk about trading properties today, the pros and cons, and what to look out for if someone offers you a trade, or maybe how you can use a trade to save a little bit of money, advance in the game. All right, of course, check out Invest for More, my actual real estate channel. We have lots of my flips, rental properties, advice videos about real life real estate. And then we love the likes, comments, shares, so keep those coming as well. All right, so you're seeing right here, we're in Los Angeles, and we have been selling some more properties. I started with 1.7 million or so UPIX before the release, got all the way down to $1,000. I've built that back up through selling some properties, and I've been buying a few more too. So this isn't all I've made so far from this. We bought a property on Pacific Coast Highway down here for very cheap, which who knows, it's kind of a long shot street collection. Some on Crenshaw, another long shot street collection. And I bought some properties on golf courses too, just because I thought that might be fun. But I do wish I would have spent more time really focusing on the streets and possible street collections in Los Angeles instead of just neighborhoods, because some of these neighborhoods like Venice still isn't minted out. Del Rey isn't minted out. Some of the spots where I wanted to go to first and buy stuff right away were not the hot spots I thought they would be. So for the North LA release, I'll definitely be focusing on that more. I did get one property in Hollywood, but it's a big one, a really expensive one. Some in the Hills, some in Westwood. So we've been selling some properties there. But along the way, I completed one trade, which I'm not sure if I should have or not. And I got offered another trade, which kind of on the surface looked like a good deal, but I don't think it was after I really evaluated it. So I'll tell you why that is. All right, so I'm going to talk about the trade that I didn't do and why I didn't do that. Now, a trade, you can list your property for UPIX. After a certain amount of time, you can list it for dollars. And people can also offer to trade you properties. So they can say, hey, I have this property in Oakland. I want to trade it to you for your property in Los Angeles. You just swap them straight up. And the cool thing about trades is there's no fees, right? When you sell a property for UPIX, you have to pay the 5% fee. When you buy a property, you have to pay the 5% fee. So if you trade them, you can both avoid a lot of those fees. That doesn't always mean it's a good deal. So we're going to head down here. This is the offer I rejected. So I had this Market Street in Englewood is the property they wanted me to trade for. So I'm listing it for 105, but I bought it for 70,000. So you can see I bought it for 70,000. It's earning $854 a month. It's in downtown Englewood. It's on Market Street. Who knows if that'll be a collection? It might be, it might not be. But I like the property, so it's not something I'm trying to get rid of. What did they want to trade me for? They want to trade me for this property in Nashville, which is kind of interesting, right? I rejected the trade, so it's for sale now. But they're asking about the same price. And if we click on here, it's earning more money. So mine was earning 800 and some. This is earning over 1,000. So this one was minted for more than mine because of the earnings is higher. And the other really interesting too is it's in a collection. It's in the Parkwood collection. So it earns a lot more money than mine. It's guaranteed to be in a collection. Why not buy it, right? It's like, hey, it should be a no-brainer to trade this property for that property because it earns more money. It's already in a collection. There's no guessing. But that's not all we want to look at. So what I like to do, I don't have it open. I'm being a horrible YouTuber. Okay. Upxlend.me is where I like to find my data. When I go to a property search, and what I want to do is I want to see what else I can buy in Nashville in that same collection, right? Just because that property seems like a good deal on the surface doesn't mean it's a good trade, because as I'll show you, you need to look at what else you can buy, right? It's not just about that property. It's what else can you buy in that neighborhood as well, because if I can get a better deal in that neighborhood for something that's for sale, why trade? I can just go buy that if I really want to, unless I think I'm never going to be able to sell my property in Los Angeles for above mint, right? If that's the case, if I think that's worth less than mint, then maybe I trade it. But I think it's going to be worth more than mint price, especially if it's a collection. So if not, then I think it still will be worth more than mint price eventually. But we'll look for properties. For sale for Upix, we'll go by sale price, and then we can put in here Parkwood for the collection. We'll search, and this will pull up everything in that neighborhood. Well, actually, technically, it pulls up 10 of them, and then I can click on here. It'll add 200 rows. This is something you should pay attention to right now. This is a collection, right? Look at all of these properties. Holy cow, at least 200. I can, like, load more. Load more. Load more. 600, 800, right? We're still going. 1,000, 1,200. There's no short supply of properties in this collection. Even though it's a collection, right? It's a massive neighborhood, and we're still going. Holy cow. There we go. 1,823 properties in this collection. So by doing that, now we pull up every single property in this collection. And then we can sort by price. So we can see some are pretty affordable, but these have very low min prices. Look at that one. 25,000, asking 29,000, only 117 markup. So what are we going to do? We're going to search by markup and see what's for sale. You can buy properties in this neighborhood for less than mint price. So this one, let's see here. We'll go back to this property again. They're asking 105. Oh, it's 391 size. So that tells us about what the mint price was. If we find one that's a similar size here, 400, 415, 350. So 441, way bigger. Mint price is 95,000. So yeah, so that one, if we go down 324, that's 70,000. Probably had a mint price around 80,000 doing rough math. So minted for more than mine in LA. But I can buy this one that minted for 95,000 for 80,000, right? So really what this tells me is that property in Nashville is probably worth less than its mint price. If its mint price was 80,000, that means maybe it's worth 70,000, maybe 80 if they're lucky, maybe, where I can come on here and buy properties for way less than that anytime I want. So on the surface, oh, great deal. Has more monthly cash flow. It's in a collection, but that's not the only thing to consider. The thing to consider is what else can you buy in that neighborhood as well. Now, if all these properties were selling for 150 markup, they're all more expensive. Sure, yeah, then it looks like a good deal. This, I don't think it's a good deal. All right, we're gonna look at one more trade I did do, which I kind of am regretting slightly. I don't know if I should have, but I'll tell you why. So I had this property in Berkeley / Oakland. I was on Telegraph Avenue. If you watched my videos before, I really thought this was going to be a collection. It's not a collection unless you go south in Oakland. In Berkeley, it's not a collection. So I bought quite a few properties here, flipped them, made great money, minted some properties, made great money here too. But I was left with a couple properties that I paid over $100,000 for, and I had them for sale, hoping by some miracle someone would come along and buy them. And someone did buy one, maybe even two of them, but I still had a couple left. And so they wanted to trade me this property, which was minted for, I don't know, 12,000, not very much at all, for a property in Los Angeles. Now I had this for sale for 115,000, I think, and the one in Los Angeles was, here we go. This one I traded right here, 683. I think it was minted for like 56,000. There you go. That's what it's minted for. So it's minted for way more than my Telegraph property. It's making a lot more earnings, like 5 times as much earnings. But should I have traded my Telegraph one for that? I don't know, because what happened when I did that was I traded the property. I think I bought it for 120,000 for a property that was minted for 56,000. That means my net worth decreased $60,000, 70,000 almost, because your net worth is based on what you buy and what the prices of the properties are, not what they're actually worth. So I bought it for 120. This person bought theirs for 56, so my net worth decreased by that much. So it's not a huge deal, but still something to think about. And then the other thing, which I just did before, which I didn't think about, was we're on Major Street, right down here. Will this be a collection? Maybe. Again, there should be lots of collections, so that's kind of what I was banking on. But then I come back here and I look at things and boom. Can mint that. Can mint that. Right? There's all these available to mint. And so really, I could have come over here and minted a property. I wouldn't have paid any fees if I mint it, right? I'm not buying it, not selling it. So that's a bonus. And then I still would have had my property on Telegraph. So I guess the real consideration is, was my property on Telegraph worth more than $56,000 here, plus the sales fees of 5%? So around 60 some thousand. And I'm not sure if it was. That's kind of what I was thinking of. But the guy who traded for me ended up selling it for 75 like the next day. So in hindsight, I could have just lowered the price of my Telegraph property, probably gotten that money, and, you know, minted some more properties, not even here, but some more small properties somewhere. So those are just a few things to consider when trading. You don't pay the fees, you don't pay the costs. It's not all about mint price or money coming in. A lot of the time it's about what you can buy on the market right now, like we saw in Nashville. So if people are always trying to trade you stuff in Nashville or Kansas City, it's because, right, the prices you can buy them for is actually less than mint price, and they're trying to get rid of them. So that's something to consider too. So trading can work great. A lot of people post on the Facebook group. There's an Upland Facebook group, on the Discord channel, about properties they have. There can be some trades on there. You can mention you want to trade properties on there if people are interested. So there's ways to do it. You can make some money doing it, but just make sure you analyze a deal. Don't jump on a deal because you think you're missing out on something. Really look at it when you do these trades. All right, so that's all we've got for today. Short, quick video. At least I think it was short. They always tend to be a little longer than they think they are. Looking forward to this week for the North Los Angeles opening. I haven't heard much about it yet. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm going to do more research on streets, because neighborhoods are going to be tough here too. Like guessing which neighborhoods will be the expensive ones, because you've got Brentwood, Bel Air, Pacific Palisades, which probably will be very expensive, but they're huge. They're so big. So it's like, well, is there really going to be that much shortage or demand for those areas? They're so big. So we'll see how it goes. And something else to think about is just buying, finding cheap small properties too, because like I said, Venice Beach should be a really popular area, but it's not, because it's so expensive to mint properties. And I showed my minting live and all the frustrations with that. And I was buying them quick, thinking they're going to go fast. And look, there's still tons of properties available here, and they're $67,000 for a normal size property. So that's kind of why. But if you see some of the smaller properties, right, some of these ones that were minted for much less, they're all minted out. So kind of the smaller property you can mint, usually the better and easier it is to sell, just because you've got a lot wider market you can sell it to. And I should have been closer to the beach as well. But like I said, I was kind of freaking out, thinking everything would go fast, and it didn't. All right. Thanks again. Love all the support, comments, shares. Keep those coming. Love it when you like our videos as well. And we'll be back with many more coming up here soon.